guys, it's Sherry G. Welcome back to the channel. So I want to continue giving my commentary on this first episode of the new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. But before I do, keep in mind that the views expressed in this video are all alleged, of my opinion, and those who choose to comment down below in the comment section, and it is all for entertainment. So I know a lot of you have probably already seen the sneak peek where Martell was going to get a facial, and then they actually showed that entire segment in this episode on Saturday. But I want to go ahead and give my viewpoints on that particular piece, and then I'll give some more commentary on another piece. Like I said, I'm just breaking my commentary up around that first episode. So anyway, in this scene, Martell is going to get a facial, and he states that the reason why he's going to get the facial is because he noticed he has bags under his eyes. So I actually believe there's another reason why Martell went to get the facial. Now, you know that the internet has been on fire ever since this show started. I mean, in between the seasons, we're still talking about the show. We're still watching what's going on in the internet as it pertains to the different castmates and trying to piece together all of the puzzle pieces that we see and make sense out of everything that we see happening in between the show. And so one of the things that we saw happening in between the show was Martell starting to look different. He's starting to looks like he may have lost some weight, but most people have been commenting around his facial features, saying that he's starting to wear stress on his face, he's starting to look tired, worn out, and they've actually mentioned the fact that he has bags under his eyes. So in my opinion, and allegedly, I believe Martell's going to get the facial is a result of those comments. Because let's face it, we all know that Martell is in these comments. We all know that he's listening to different vloggers and he's tapping into their channels and seeing what they have to say. And we all know that he's scrolling through the comment section, getting feedback or reading the feedback from the different people who are commenting on the vloggers' channels. Not only is he doing it, Ariane probably is too. Well, we know she is, right? And she's probably going back and telling him that they're saying this and saying that, on top of him seeing that they're saying this and saying that. That is my opinion. So I feel like that's really what's going on. And on top of that, allegedly, and in my opinion, he doesn't have much of a storyline. So when he says, hey, I need to get a facial, let's just make this a part of my storyline because I notice I'm getting bags in my eyes. It makes sense to me. I don't know what you guys think about that. But a lot of people were dragging him all in the comments, and especially when he said that he likes being touched by a woman. They were saying things like, well, we know Martell, like that's the thing that got you in trouble in the first place. That's why you're here now, yada, yada, etc., etc. Now, in my opinion, I believe that was a dig at Mel because we all believe strongly that he is still obsessed with her. He shows signs of it. And so I feel that any chance he gets to try to get her back or try to get at her, he's going to do that. So I feel like he threw that out there to kind of like, okay, Mel, I like being touched by a woman, maybe perhaps to make her jealous. But because Martell allegedly is so delusional, he doesn't realize how that comment or making that comment wouldn't work for him. It would work against him. So it would give the exact opposite effect. Because in my mind, I could see Mel saying, ew, that's exactly what got you where you are today. That's exactly the reason why we are where we are today. because allegedly he was a serial cheater, right? So, anyway, those are my thoughts in the show that he and Melody were headed for divorce. She was so upset. She was deeply hurt. That is not news that she wanted to hear at all. As a matter of fact, she told him that he was just like his father when he went to explain, that the reason why, you know, not only did I sleep with someone else, but there's a baby on the way. She said, "You're just like your father." And when I heard her say that, I felt her hurt. When I heard her say that, I felt, in my opinion, that she really meant those words, that he was just like his father. So, in my opinion, what Marlene does is it's okay for her to tell Martell about himself. It's okay for her to point out the things that he does wrong, but it's not okay for anybody else to do it. When the rest of the world is saying the things that they're saying, when anybody else comes up against him, then she's like, "There's nothing wrong with you. You're a good man." Another thing that she said that ticked me off was she said that Melody needs to stop talking negatively to the children about their father and painting him as a monster. Now, I know, in my opinion, this is Martell feeding this bullcrap to Marlene. And she's crazy for believing that, in my opinion, because she sees the children, she sees how Melody is with the children, and she sees the show. She knows that Melody is a good mother. Um, and she has to know how volatile Martell can be, how explosive he can be with his words, if nothing else. She has to know how militant he can be in his style of correcting the children and things like that. I'm not saying that he hits the children or anything. I mean, there was an allegation, something to do with their son. But again, I'm just talking about just in his whole overall, the way he does things, the way he says things, when he's upset and when he's angry. And we've heard him say things. I mean, yeah, as parents, we say things like, but with Martell, this is just something a little bit different. And I just really don't know to put the proper words on it, just to keep myself from getting a channel strike, is basically what it's all about. So I'm just trying to watch my verbiage here, because although we say that things are alleged and in our opinion, you just never know with YouTube. So yes, I'm walking with caution. But anyway, I feel that Marlene is just as delusional as Martell is, and she's part of the problem. I also feel that when he goes to see a counselor, she needs to go and see a counselor too. And the sad thing is that as a parent, I know that we love our children and we want to see them in their best light, but we cannot ignore the things that are wrong with them, or the things that are going on with them that um, seemingly put them in a bad situation over and over and over again, such as his volatile behavior. Those things have to be addressed. We have to get down to what is causing that. What is the bottom line? Like, what is the under what is at the core of everything that is going on? And I know that there's a stigma in our community, in the African American community, when it comes to therapy. I feel like more women are open to it. And for men, the ego kind of gets in the way. So, and it's a big problem. So I feel like, especially with the older generation, and I hate saying this because I am of the older generation, but I do believe in therapy. I'm in my 60s, but I still believe in therapy. I am not a traditional type of thinker, actually. I never have been. So, and that's part of the struggle I have with my older family members or people that are in my same age bracket. We kind of bump heads sometimes because I am not a traditional when it comes to the way I think, and when it comes to the way I move, and when it comes to the way I handle my family and how I handle certain situations. I strongly believe in therapy. I don't believe you can just go to church and pray it away. I believe that prayer is good and prayer is helpful, and it helps you to hold on, to hope and to be positive, but you still have to do the work. And unless you understand what you're dealing with and you understand the type of work that you really have to do, then you're never going to get to the bottom line. That's the same thing as if you're sick. Like you go to church and you pray and you ask for healing, but you're still going to take the medications and you're still going to follow the precautions that the doctor gives you, you know. Or if you don't believe in medicine, maybe you're an herbalist, whatever it is, but you're still going to do the things you need to do outside of just the prayer, outside of the meditation to get your body corrected. So, anyway, guys, that is my take on this particular piece. I really thought it was just kind of crazy how Marlene just does not see that her son needs help, how she seems to be oblivious to it. Maybe she just doesn't want to face it. And how, that she and Martell blame things on Melody. And I know that he's feeding that negative stuff to her as it pertains to Melody. Because another thing that Martell said is that he and Melody were actually working on their co-parenting relationship. But he said that she just needs to get it together. No, Martell, you need to get it together. And it just ugh, it irritated me to hear him say that, because here he is again painting Mel in a negative light to his mother. But and the only reason why he's saying that is because whatever it is he wants Mel to do, she's not doing it. So we know that is the common theme. I want Melody to move in a certain way. She doesn't move in that certain way. So now all of a sudden she has the problem. But anyway, that's all the commentary I have for you today. Please share your comments down below in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell because I will be back. Until then, ciao.